sports betting brother, and hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by here at SportsBetUniversity.com. I'm Boyd, and we teach beginner and struggling sports bettors how to use betting analytics, how to use market analytics, and understand how to bet like a sharp, basically using a roadmap and a blueprint. And part of that is through the courses that we provide. And in the courses, we have OddsJam.com as a resource and a tool that is amazing. And it's one of the best things you can do to incorporate in your betting world. We're going to talk about the top 5 tips that you can do to enhance your experience at OddsJam. So sit back, relax, and we'll get that to you right now. So the first tip I can offer is simply planning and blocking off time. You're going to want to have the time so you don't feel rushed. You want to be able to take the time to put everything through your process of your analysis and how you want to assess the wagers and things like that. Make sure you're doing the proper bankroll management and doing all these things you need to do. But if you don't have the time and you feel rushed, a lot of times you can make some poor choices and not feel comfortable with your wager. So make sure you put the time on the calendar, whether you just have it as a ritual or routine on certain days. But also along with this, you want to have time to kind of follow up on notes and follow up on some upcoming targets that you maybe learned about the previous week. So there's a lot of other things you can do to supplement and enhance your experience. And this is certainly one of them, is making sure you have enough time. Now, the second one here, as far as go deeper versus wider, I do want to reflect back real quick. When I mentioned time on the first one, I want to make sure I'm very clear. Many times you can get in and out of OddsJam in 10, 15 minutes and do some quick assessments and get some quick information as the markets are constantly changing. So I want to make sure that I talk about and kind of double back on that time thing, whether you need 10, 15 minutes if you're going to bet things right away, or if you're, needing a little bit more time as far as 30, 40, 50-minute hour, whatever you need. So that's going to become a sort of a decision that's up to you. But moving on to number 2, what I mean by going deeper versus wider is you want to have specific targets or interests, whether it's player props, whether it's sides, totals, maybe it's college football, maybe it's only certain conferences in college football, maybe it's just the NFC and the NFL, who knows, but you want to be able to focus and get a little bit more efficient and masterful at the types of bets, and that way it's going to help you prepare your betting blueprint during the week so that come Saturday and Sunday, all the games you're targeting, all the different player props you're targeting, you have it all mapped out and ready to go. You're not scrambling right before kickoff. So it's very important as you get your knowledge put together and get your blueprint put together that you sort of create that plan and you're very happy with your efficient, researched, gone deep picks. So the next one here, the third one, and they're really not in a huge particular order, but you want to be able to identify the sports books that come up on OddsJam that seem to be indicating where the majority of your bets are going. So if you're limited on capital and you need, again, you can't get into 15, 20, 25 sports books, you definitely want to have the sports books that are fitting your needs. And so you want to be able to identify those sports books. And in the meantime, you want to be able to practice and navigate those sites. So that way you can get in and out and you know how to get to and in and out of the tabs and how to place those wagers and be very, very quick and very, very efficient at navigating those sites. So along with this, you want to be able to keep track of all this in the bet tracker at OddsJam. So you could, put some information there to sort of practice before you play with live bullets or money. You could use the OddsJam bet tracker to track and help you identify where you are having those successes, so you know which sports books you might want to get enrolled in and get funded and start to practice on. So hopefully this is very, very helpful. I think this is a big one that I learned, as I was expanding my sportsbook portfolio, that I needed to take some time to understand and learn how to get in and out of the sites very quickly and very efficiently, whether it's on my phone or whether it's through the laptop. So this is a big one. This is a real big one. I think it'd be very, very helpful. I quickly mentioned some of my experience as far as learning what some of the things I needed to do after becoming more involved with OddsJam, and hopefully you'll find that we appreciate feedback and input too. So make sure you leave us a comment below. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button here at the YouTube channel. But make sure you help us understand where you're coming from so we can help you. So if you have any questions, please leave it below, or you can always email me at info@sportsbetuniversity.com. All right, guys, on to the fourth one. It may sound a little bit weird, a little bit strange, but I highly encourage you to take notes on the games on Saturdays and Sundays, or Thursday night, Monday night, whatever it is. But take some notes, because you're going to notice things while you're watching the games or while you're getting updates on the games that you may want to use that information for the next week. And I think it's very important that you take notes, whether it's through sticky notes, Google Docs, or cocktail napkin, or whatever it may be. But you want to be able to remember and use that information the next week as you reflect and sort of prepare your blueprint or your betting plan that next week. So it's kind of a small tip here, but I think you're going to get a lot of mileage out of this. It's kind of pound for pound a good tip to make sure you do. All right, guys, fifth tip, and I think it's very helpful too, is make adjustments. As you learn and absorb this information, you want to keep an open mind and understand that, as you're reviewing your notes and as you're looking for opportunities, you're going to increase what you were doing well. And if you are finding that you're doing well in player props and not so much on totals, double down, keep going on player props, right? I mean, if you're doing really well on sides or, different things in college or NFL, whatever you're doing, whatever seems to be working, the types of bets that you're putting in and using, if you're having some efficiency and success, keep doing it. But just make adjustments, learn each week to kind of absorb and take in the knowledge that you've been provided through that week, and go forward to make sure you're a little bit more efficient in enhancing your OddsJam experience. All right, here's the review. Here's the 5 things we put out here as, I guess, hopefully very helpful tips that you can enhance your experience at OddsJam. Number 1, planning. Make sure you give yourself some time set aside daily, weekly, etc. Number 2, go deep. Make sure you're mastering it. Make sure you're being efficient at it as far as, the types of bets you're looking into, and not leaving any stone unturned. Number 3, I think this is probably the biggest one, actually, to tell you the truth, is understanding how to navigate, get enrolled, use the bonuses, sportsbook efficiency. Big one. Probably up there with certainly number 1. Taking notes. It's a little tip, little helpful advice there to build your knowledge. And number 5, make the adjustments. If you're finding you're just having no luck at player props, switch over to do what you're doing well. Maybe that is, totals or sides in either college or NFL or whatever the case. And by focusing in on this, by focusing in on certain conferences or focusing in on certain types of things, will help you alleviate a lot of noise and help you be more efficient and have a lot higher success. So hope you found that very, very helpful to add to your weekly routines. All right, guys, last thing here, I want to invite you to make sure and get involved with the YouTube channel at OddsJam. Get involved with Twitter with OddsJam. Get involved with the free Bachelors of Betting video I have for you at SportsBetUniversity.com. Stop by the website and we'll email you that video so you can, especially as a beginner and struggling sports bettor, maybe you need some more information to make sure if it's sports betting's for you or something you want to kind of move along from. So that's sort of the positives, the negatives, the pros and the cons of that. But again, I want to invite you to like, share, join, drop us information and feedback, and we'll be back tomorrow with more to hopefully help you grow this experience and get better and better to make more and more money.